So now we have both a funny and sad story coming out of Michigan, and all I'll say is it involves weed brownies and parents. That can't be good.
Police telling me today a Clarkston high school girl baked some tainted treats, hot brownies, and left them out where she apparently didn't expect anyone to come eat them. Well, she's in a lot of trouble tonight because her dad did, and then he had to call 911. It was Wednesday night in this quiet neighborhood along Deer Lake in Independence Township when police say a 58-year-old dad ate one of his 17-year-old daughter's brownies. But then something didn't feel right.
The father thought he was having a stroke.
McCabe says the girl told police she got some pot from a friend and baked it in the brownies.
Left them in the kitchen, but she didn't expect anybody to eat them.
Oakland County's narcotics officers were interviewing the girl at Clarkston High School today. Of the many questions, was this just an accident?
I don't know about you, but, when my wife cooks brownies and lays them out on the kitchen table, generally they're there for somebody to eat.
Police are waiting on lab results, and if the brownies were baked, this young lady could be toking up some real trouble.
We're going to take the case to the prosecutors. If it comes back with marijuana or something else illegal, it's going to the prosecutor's office for potential charges. She's 17 years old, so she's an adult in the eyes of the law. No, she's not going to get it light, no.
Okay, the kid left the brownies out, and that's dumb. That really is dumb. Like, what are you doing? Really? You don't think anybody's going to eat it? Seriously? Like, that whole part of the story is sketchy as fuck, for sure. But, come on. Is it not hilarious that he was convinced he's having a stroke? It's so funny. But look, in all seriousness, like, if I was that dad, I'm sure I'd be fucking scared as fuck. I'm sure I would have thought I was having a stroke too. Because apparently when you eat weed, the way it processes in the body is different than when you smoke it. So you actually get much, much higher. It's much more hallucinogenic when you eat it. It's a much weirder, deeper, stranger, creepier high than it is if you smoke it. So, like, yeah, it's hilarious and it's all fun and games here, but I'm sure I would have been terrified if I was that dad also. You eat it and you don't know that you eat it, and then all of a sudden you start feeling weird and strange and all this shit's going on, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna die. But the part of the story that, of course, is beyond frustrating is, come on, you're gonna charge this poor girl? I mean, what the fuck, man? Okay, while you're at it, be fucking consistent here. Let's go back and find some evidence. We already have the evidence, right? President Obama smoked weed. I don't see cops. Mr. President, come with us. You smoked weed when you were younger. Of course, there's a statute of limitations, so I'm being partially tongue-in-cheek here. But look, they did. He was in the Choom gang. He smoked weed all the time when he was younger. Bush, notoriously, he did blow. He went fucking AWOL when he was in the Air Force or some shit. I don't know all the details of that story, but he was a boozer for a long fucking time. Bill Clinton, I smoke weed. Awkward pause. Nobody claps or response. But I didn't inhale. All right, you politician, calm the fuck down. Yes, we know you smoked weed. Yes, we know you inhaled. We all saw that picture of you and Hillary from when you're young, when you're in college or whatever it is. You guys are the hippiest of the hippie motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. You were probably doing acid off of Hillary's asshole by the looks of that old picture. Are you kidding me? You were high right there in the picture. You have mutton chops that are the thickest I've ever seen. Good googly moogly. You need a bushwhacker to get down those sideburns. Are you kidding me? So that's the part that pisses me off. Is like it was a funny story and like in like a ha ha he he moment, something you could share in the future with people until you get the law's gonna crack down hard on her for making those goddamn pop brownies. Oh really? So you, the police officer, you never had them in your life ever? You never smoked weed in your life ever? This dad never did when he was younger? Fucking spare me, man. The idea that you throw a kid in jail because they smoke some weed. You have to arrest 80% of every college student in America right now. Probably like 60% of every fucking high school student in America right now. We got to stop with this draconian bullshit. I mean, you want to talk about a mindset and a system that's left over from a primitive age. This is it right here. We've explained this before, but the origins of the drug war has nothing to do with science and, like, smart policy. A lot of it had to do with fucking racism. First of all, the first all-out ban of drugs, it was in 1914. So it's basically been a 100-year experiment and has failed miserably. Before then, you get whatever the fuck you want. They used to give kids opium before they went to sleep at night. They used to have like cocaine elixirs for tooth pain. It used to be the most common thing, but then when you had Chinese immigrants that came here and they had opium dens, you had white fathers who were afraid, seriously, true story, that their daughters were going to go and have sex with the Chinese guys and do opium, so they said, we're banning the opium dens. And then later on, they banned the opium outright, and then, of course, you had fear of black people and Hispanic people with marijuana, and the drug war is, or I should say drug bans originally, they were just all based on racism. The idea that we still have these policies in place and we pretend like there's some sort of higher reason why they're there, no. It's the same reason it was originally. This is something that can keep minority populations in check so they know their role and you can police the communities and make sure that they know their place socially and they know their place in, when it comes to the economic ladder and the entire scheme of things. So it's a complete joke, and we got to stop with this nonsense. We did stories in the past of some kid who's about to get life for making pop brownies. Now this poor girl, after an accident, she might spend some time in jail. Enough. We all know deep down it's stupid. So we have to fight it, because what's really happening is lives are being ruined.